What's going on? This is the third installment of the Frankenstein series where we have our boy right here. If you aren't familiar, this is just a kendama that I found at a thrift store one day, and I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to try some of those, little tricks that people do. I quartered the bevel, I glued the spike, I changed up the string, and if you haven't seen any of those, you can refer to some of the older Frank episodes. But today, we're going one layer deeper, and what I'm going to be doing is trying to customize this kendama. Now, of course, there are so many different ways to do this. Some people like stickers, you could draw on it with a pencil, or you could even go the route of wood burning, which I did try to dabble in. I thought it'd be a cool little thing to do, create my own wood burner out of things I had around my room, and that's kind of underway, kind of not really happening, so maybe we'll see it one day, the custom wood burner. But today we're going with the much more simple approach, which is one state-of-the-art Sharpie marker. So with the Sharpie, you think it might be oh so easy. Oh, you just draw whatever you want and it's a permanent marker and it'll be there permanently. But yeah, that's not always the case if you've used markers for anything. Once you get the hands and the sweat and the blood and the tears from your favorite kendama session, the Sharpie might not hold up. I don't know. So we're going to find that out. I'm going to pick, I think I'm going to try to pick like the most highest rate of touching spot to draw on with the Sharpie, because if you wanted to like customize kendama yourself, maybe if you go like in the cups, right? I mean, I don't think they're gonna get smudged at all, but it's when you get to like the handle specifically. I think I'm gonna go for this bottom chunky part of the handle where your hand is like always there, always gripping it, all the sweat's gonna be there. Maybe you want to get a signature from your favorite player or something one day, and you got to know where they should put it if you don't want it smudging around, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up with some random thing to write on here just so that we can test it. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to throw it around, do whatever I can to see if the drawing is going to hold up with the Sharpie, and we'll see if this is a suitable way to customize your kendama, all thanks to our boy Frank and all of his sacrifices. So yeah, like I said, if we like wanted to do some pretty designs in the cups or whatever, I think that'd be perfectly fine. And if you want to do it, go for it. I don't think you'd have any issues smudging or anything because nothing really hits around inside the cups. But what I'm going to go for, I'm going to do like the full band around the bottom of the can here. Maybe I'll just write Frank or something, like I'll give him a name tag. And then I think, since I usually hold the can like this, maybe like a little design at the back here. Like I want to leave some space in case I want to like actually customize this, wood burn it or something in the future. But I think right in this area, if I do like a little lightning bolt or something, then it'll get the wear and tear, like the peak wear and tear of any other place on the can. So I'm gonna do down here, I'm gonna do up here, and then we're gonna play it, see what happens. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to draw on your kendama. This feels kind of wrong. Alright, so while my artistic skills are lacking, we got the job done. Hopefully, where can the light make you see this? We've got Frank nice and crispy around the can at the bottom there, and then you can see I did like a little lightning bolt design, and that lightning bolt, like I made sure to do like a good amount of ink, so it's not just like one stroke, it's kind of like colored in and everything. And then the Frank along the bottom here, I'll give you a better look right now. I'll switch the camera angle, show it to you, and then we're just gonna juggle it, simulate some sweat or something, and see how well it holds up. Alright, so just like that, you can see we were able to simulate a little bit of wear and tear, and I'm going to turn the camera around and give you a real close look of how this looks. And besides one particular area, which I purposely really brutalized, this is all just going to be the play. Like the average play, juggling, getting a little sweaty, a little wet, and just playing with it. That's what you're going to see in every drop of ink -1, which I'll just explain right now. Okay, so like I was saying, everything except for this one edge of the letter A is totally just reflective of how it held up with regular play. Now, hopefully you can get a good look at the lightning bolt up there too. Everything except for that leg of the A, which we'll get to, is pretty much as perfectly crisp as it was when we first put it on. Now, with this section in particular, right after the rub, if it'll focus in there, I don't know if you were able to see, or sorry, did I say rub? I meant right after I dumped the water on it. I don't know if you could see in the actual video, but I was like really going at this with my thumb to see like just how permanent it was. And that's the only time we really got some smudging. Hard to tell on camera, but you can see it's a bit lighter, a bit black, like bleeds into the rest of the wood. But everything else, it got a lot of abuse from my hands with just regular play, and it got soaked as well. And you can see it's still pretty darn crisp. That lightning bolt too, like my fingers were on that pretty much for every trick for at least 10 or 15 minutes, and then we soaked it. And yeah, like that F, super crisp, R, super crisp. And then that's what it'll look like if you try your hardest to really smudge it off. So yeah, I mean, I think this is conclusive evidence. Sharpie gets the job done. Customize your stuff. But yeah, so there you have it, Frank. Your work here is done. I think if you're looking to, get a signature, or you want to do something a little bit cool to spice up your Dama, Sharpie or whatever other permanent marker, no-name brand you've got, I think is a great route to go. And if you've got kind of a beater Dama that maybe you don't need in pristine condition, I think it's pretty fun. It held up super well, in my opinion. I thought soaking it, honestly, would get the Sharpie all over the place, and we'd have like the whole bottom half of the can be just solid black. But it held up well. I think it looks pretty cool if you can do some art better than I can. And yeah, give it a go. That's the experiment for today. Pretty much wrapped up. And I appreciate you checking this out. And I appreciate you doing whatever else you want to do, because that's what you should do.